What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the third video in the Cashing In on Short-Term Rentals series. My name is Alex Jarbo, and this series is brought to you by my company, the Build Don't Buy Short-Term Rental Masterclass, and then the Strategic Advisory Board. So in this video, what I want to be talking about is property analysis, and more specifically, how to choose a property. In the fourth video, we're going to be talking about how to underwrite a property with the numbers. In the last video, what we talked about is how to choose a market. And again, in this video, we're going to be talking about how to determine what is unique to your area. Because that's the whole point of this video series, is to develop and build unique short-term rentals. Short-term rentals where the property itself is an experience outside the city that the guest is visiting. Where I like to say Instagrammable properties that people would be proud to put on their social media, properties that you would be proud to put on your social media. So when we're talking about social media here, so one of the first ways I found to find unique short-term rentals was actually scrolling through Instagram. I would just type in the search bar like cabins or short-term rentals, vacation rentals, and I would see what would come up. And then from there, I would screenshot and I would add them to a folder. Another thing that you can do is go into Pinterest and you can create a board. If you've never used Pinterest, it's the same thing like a folder. A board is a folder. And you could just go through and type in keywords like vacation rentals, short-term rentals, and see what comes up. And if something catches your eye, you just add it to your board or to your folder, and then you have sort of a collection there. So that was how I started, was I would scroll through Instagram, and I showed you guys in the first video, the very first property I developed was an A-frame. And I thought A-frames would do phenomenal in my market, at least that was my guess. So I would just collect pictures of A-frames, and then based off of those pictures, I designed my first A-frame with the help of an architect, and I'll talk about how to do that later on in the video course. And then that became the floor plans to our first cabin, our first A-frame. So that's how I started. That's how I started. The second way to do it is you want to be thinking about what is unique to your area. What would fit in the landscape of your area? And I like to say your area because I'm in the East Coast, like in the mountains and in the woods, but some of you might be watching, might be like in like a desert market or like on the West Coast, or maybe the landscape looks completely different than like outdoor woods. So one of my favorite ways to determine that is actually just to hop onto Airbnb site. So you got Airbnb.com up here. This is their homepage. Show you guys, click on the Airbnb logo. That is the homepage, and you can scroll through. They have these different categories up at the top, but you can scroll through and choose and like look at what is unique to your area and what would catch your eye. So that's the big thing, is like what's catching your eye. So for now, like I'll tell you guys right now, in woods or mountain markets, A-frames absolutely kill it. Currently they kill it. These Deltec like circular houses also do really well. But you can just go through here and like see what catches your eye. A-frames here in my market, like tiny houses, cabins. Here's a beautiful tiny house that you guys can emulate. And if I had to guess, that's relatively cheap to build. And stuff like that. So that's another way, is to figure like how to figure out what is unique to your area. Look how small this one is. This one is in Ontario, Canada, but it's in the woods. Small little property. Has a little cute deck, little sitting area. It has a kitchenette, it has a kitchen set, and I'm assuming it has a bathroom as well. Small little perfect bathroom as well. But something like that, like you guys don't have to start big, and they're asking about $145 a night for this property. So stuff like that. And then one of the final ways I actually like to, say you go through here and you're like, okay, I'm not really seeing anything that's catching my eye, but I mean, I'm sure there's a lot, because you can go, this is just one category. You can go through every single one of these categories, and I think there's like 40 or 50, I mean, it looks like over 100 categories at this point. But you could go through every single one of these and see like what would potentially fit in your market. So you got like tropical, you have beachfront, you have farms, you have yurts, vineyards, boats, barns, containers. Anything that you can think of is going to be here in a category. Tree houses. And I'm sure you're going to find something, and what I want you to do is either screenshot it and save it into a folder, or just take note of it. You're like, okay, like A-frames are really popular in my market. Modern contemporary houses are very popular in my market. Stuff like that. So like there's a tiny house category as well. And then the final way, again, if you can't find anything on Airbnb, a final way is going to be going through Google And then you're just gonna, in video 2, we talked about market analysis. So you have a couple markets, hopefully like 2 or 3 markets. And then what you're gonna be doing is you're gonna choose one of those markets and you're gonna put in best short-term rental in your market that you chose. So let's use my market as an example, Asheville, North Carolina. And then you just go in here and you just scroll through and you try to find a list. Another way to do it, honestly, is just go to images. And that's the quickest way to do it. And you see what comes up, the best properties in your market that are unique. So like in my market, tree houses do really well. Here's like another tree house right here. Log cabins, modern contemporary like houses, like wooded houses and stuff. Here's like a modern contemporary shed, really cool looking house there. Here's one of the top rentals in our market, which is a tree house. But that's another way to do it. So those are 3 strategies there. And what you would do is you would just screenshot this and add this to a folder. It's the same way like the first strategy. So those are the 3 strategies on how to choose a property, or how to start choosing a unique property in your market. Again, we haven't talked about floor plans. We haven't talked about underwriting the property. In this video, I just wanted to talk about the 3 ways I like to use to sort of determine the next property I'm going to be building. So number 1 was just scrolling through social media, scrolling through Instagram, Pinterest, and just collecting ideas by searching unique properties, unique vacation rentals, unique short-term rentals. Number 2 is specifically just going through Airbnb's site, like their homepage, going through the categories and see what catches your eye. What catches your eye and what you would feel comfortable would fit in your market. And then the third way is literally just choosing the market, taking the market that you had chosen in video 2. And what you're going to be doing is putting that into Google and typing in best short-term rentals in my city, best vacation rentals in my city, going over to images and see what comes up, and again, what catches your eye. So hopefully you guys, if you enjoyed this 3rd video, in the 4th video, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking the property type that we just decided on, and we're going to figure out how much money that property is going to be making. So stay tuned for that. Thanks.